Hey, what's up, guys? I want to make a little quick video here. It's going to be my opinion only. A lot of you guys might have input on it too. I'd like to see it in the comments. Please tell me what you think. And if you know about the situation that I'm about to tell you. Well, this happened, I think last Friday. I don't know the exact date, what time exactly. It was during the day. Cops actually shoot a guy. He was holding a knife. And there's a lot of talk about it here in town, and I'm listening to AM radio, and they're talking about maybe the cops had they used excessive force. They shouldn't have probably killed the guy, whatever. Well, some of the facts have came out that the guy was actually holding a knife in his hand when he was shot. His hands do seem to be up in the air. I know that, but what's disgusting to me is everybody all up on the criminal side. Like I've heard and seen comments like, oh, they shouldn't have done that. He didn't have a right to be executed like a dog on the street. Well, guess what? Let's look at the bigger picture here. The guy was on domestic violence. The cops went out to his house. His wife was stabbed. Maybe his child. There's not enough evidence right now to say exactly what he did, but we do know that he stabbed his wife. Cops tried to stop him by tasing him. It didn't work. Why? Because he was probably on these drugs. He was probably all up on drugs, and nothing was going to work for that guy. Okay? So, right off the bat, this guy's a really big threat to the cops. And he's a big guy. You can see in the video, he's pretty tall. Big guy, no shirt. But another thing that I wanted to say was, what do domestic violence people have in common? Most of them. A lot of them. Well, they beat their wives. And I hate that. My dad beat my mom. And I finally stood up to him when I was about 15 years old. I was the youngest. I had older brothers that never stepped in. And, the last time he had beat my mom, I was probably like 11 years old. I was real little, maybe 10. And, he hadn't beat her for a long time. And the last time he beat her, he made her faint out of the pain that she was in. I mean, I remember he was whipping her with the whip really hard, like a horse whip. Had leather strands on it. And he was hitting her and just slapping her all over her body, her head. It was bad, guys. I hate offenders that do domestic violence. Anyway, she falls to the ground. I remember seeing her body just give in, collapse, fell on her back, and she was there and she couldn't move. And I remember running out. At the time we didn't have a phone in the house, and I remember there was a payphone, a couple blocks, away. And I remember running to it as fast as I could as a little kid, and I got on the phone, I dialed 911, and it was free to dial 911 from the payphones. You didn't have to have money. And I remember I couldn't even speak. I was just in shock and, just crying my eyes out, talking to the officer. And so I just hung up the phone, and I ran back home, and she was finally conscious, and, but I'll never forget that. And if the cops would have showed up and they would have shot my dad, well, guess what? I might sound like an asshole, but that's what he deserved. Okay, so when I was 15, I stood up to my dad. I stood up to him. He said he was about to hit my mom again. I stood in the doorway. My mom was behind me. I said, if you want to hit her, you come through me. And I was mad, and I was ready to rip him to shreds. Maybe he could have took me. Maybe I could have took him. I felt I was strong enough, But regardless, if he would have took me and beat me to death, I wasn't going to let him do that to my mom. And this guy fucking did that. He stabbed his wife. This wasn't the first time that people called, or that she called to say he was beating her. This time he was stabbing her. He was probably going to end up killing her one day if none of this happened. And I'm really happy those cops took that guy's life. I'm disgusted at the people that protect and say the cops were in the wrong for shooting him. It's one of those videos that just touches really close to home. You know, domestic violence. I hate it. I never hit my wife. I'll never hit my wife. I've done some, you know, stupid things, and I could be an asshole at times, but I would never ever hit my wife, you know, or anybody that I was with. And you know, it is a video that I just wanted to make and get your guys' opinion on things. And you know, domestic violence, it's bad, and I'm glad this guy's off the streets. I'm really happy he's dead. All right, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Okay? All right.